Hi, I'm Left Wing Libertarian.
And I'm Anna from BeautyGirlsMom.com.
Okay, our Fakesgiving party is over.
Over and done. Wrapped
Over
up.
and done.
Another one in the books.
Now, one of the things that we've done, and you'll see it in the video behind us and in the clips, is I have video that I took during the party where I departed from my normal job, which is manning the trash cans and
Cleaning out your desk drawers.
I did that before the party.
Yeah.
Yes. So manning the trash cans. By the way, the trash men tomorrow are probably going to think we have a serious drinking problem because of all the cans and the bottles and stuff that are lined
We
up.
went through quite a few cans and bottles.
Also, our utility bills were zero for yesterday because we opened up all the windows and it was
just to let people know, it was in the 40s here yesterday. And we had about 40 people in the house for Fakesgiving. I didn't even have the oven on because I did all the casserole cooking earlier in the day.
You had the warmer on.
I did have the warming oven on, but really by the time the guests started to come in, the ovens were off. All we had going was the sterno. We shut the heater off. We opened up all the windows so there was a breeze blowing through. It was like July in this house.
So if you've ever seen the movie The Matrix and you wonder if human beings can really be used as batteries, our house at Fakesgiving and holiday parties proves it.
Yes. No heating bill for yesterday.
For this segment here, I wanted us to go back to black and white. And I wanted us to, go back to the suit and tie and you with the turkey thing. And we don't have enough time because we just cleaned up from the party. So here's what we were going to talk about. Fakesgiving parties. Everyone who came to our party consistently has the same comment. They love them because no one else has them anymore.
Yeah, and that's something that we've talked about a lot. When I was a kid, my parents always did some kind of a big holiday party, usually around Christmas time. And we had a house full of people. My mother cooked and cooked and cooked. There was always a ton of food, always food left over.
My father's thing was summertime. He built himself a custom-made grill for the backyard. He had this giant cart where he had all the hot dogs and the rolls and all the condiments and everything on it. And he had people in the backyard. 50, 60, 80 people show up all day for outdoor backyard parties and in the pool.
Yeah. So we've always done something. Either we've had a Christmas party. In recent years, we've done Fakesgiving. We've had 4th of July barbecues. We've had Labor Day barbecues. We've always done big events.
Now, before you think we're delusional, we have also had arguments where we've been like, damn it, we are not doing this again.
I say that every year. Every year, when it's all over and done, it's like, I am never doing this again. It's a lot of work.
It's worth it, though.
I think in the long run, it's worth it. But when it comes down to it, I mean, the cost of the event is almost not attainable for a lot of people. This is something that we have to plan for and budget for well in advance so that we know everything is going to be covered. We have enough food for everybody.
Now, the difference is there are ways that you can lower the costs. We've talked about that on the previous video. And if you'd like recipe or tip-saving things, just post in the comments. We've done that before. Yeah. You don't have to have surf and turf steak and lobster.
Which we don't. And, Fakesgiving is really strictly a Thanksgiving type meal. We have turkey, all the side dishes, usually one other, like yesterday we had meatballs and sausage. Sometimes there's ham or there's kielbasa and sauerkraut. So
we did have snow crabs one year, but that was because the price had plummeted on them to like $1.99 a pound.
Yeah, so we had that one year. But it's an expensive undertaking, but there's almost a priceless value to having the kids see family and friends that we usually don't get to see over the holidays because they're busy with their own families. And
all right,
it's just nice to have all the people here at the house.
I'm going to put the black and white on because it's not going to match up with the sound. So it'll be like a cheesy 50s movie. But here we go. Hey, dear, we have the following Christmas parties to go to. I have my office Christmas party. I have my Moose Lodge Christmas party. I have my bowling team Christmas party. I have the Republican committee party that I go to with the county people that I'm involved in politics with. And then I have the train club, which has its Christmas party. And there's 5 Christmas parties that we have to go to. How many Christmas parties do we have you to go to that we went to on our first couple years together? Your office party?
My office
6.
Christmas party. There was, the PTO Christmas
7.
party. There was a Christmas party of the moms group that I belong to, the
8.
play group with the kids. There was a Christmas party.
9.
There were
your father's Knights of Columbus?
The Knights of Columbus Christmas
10. Oh, we
party.
forgot our church party.
The church
That's
party.
11. Yeah, we're up to 11 Christmas parties. I mean, there's a lot of these events to go to. And that doesn't include your parents' Christmas party and your aunts or uncles having something. Your Uncle Bud always had a Christmas dinner, or was it around Christmas thing?
Well, my father's family, my Aunt Joan used to make it a point to come home for at least a few days after Christmas. My Aunt Joan, for those of you that don't know, is in the convent.
Just celebrated 50
celebrated
years.
her 50th year in the convent. So coming home on the holidays themselves was never really an option. But she would come home usually sometime during the week after Christmas, and all of my aunts and uncles would have a little get together so she could come and see the tree and see all their decorations.
You know, in some ways, that's a precursor to Fakesgiving. It doesn't matter when you have the holiday as long as you celebrate it with family and friends that you love.
That's true. And really, I mean, if we go all the way back to it, my Aunt Joan and my Grandma Bilbro were probably the inventors of Fakesgiving. Although we didn't call it Fakesgiving as kids, we called it second time arounds. My Aunt Joan would usually come home either the day after Thanksgiving or that Saturday morning, and the whole family would get together Saturday for dinner. And we would have what my grandmother...
She went into the convent right after high school, and she was the youngest or the oldest?
It was the second. My
Second.
dad was the oldest, and then my Aunt Joan. So yeah, we
And
had
everybody
second
stayed in the
time
area,
around
so it's not like everybody was still around. It was a big thing.
Yeah.
My father's family, I mean, we went to visit people for just a few hours if they didn't come to the party. So, I mean, we really didn't have the big holiday parties. My father's thing was over the summer, but the same thing. You know, Memorial Day, Labor Day, you have the 4th of July, you have those big pool parties.
Yeah.
But it is a bit of work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of housekeeping. It's a lot of an expense, but it is priceless for the value in, again, having the kids surrounded by their aunts and uncles, their cousins, our closest friends, the people that we really love and enjoy spending time with, who on the actual holiday is, they're with their own families, their own grandchildren. And
if you're hearing all this and you want you as a grandparent want to go to your grandkids' house when they have these parties, you have to have them yourself. I mean, they're not going to learn to have them and want to invite you if they don't grow up in a loving environment where that happens.
Although our children, the day that they have to clean and scrub and get everything spick and span, tell us that they will never do this themselves. But, Bridget has been out on her own, and she has admitted to me she enjoys throwing parties for their friends, for football games and things like that. So it has carried over. She wants to have people, she wants to entertain, and it's nice to be surrounded by your friends and family. And you know what? Everybody is so busy anymore. Moms and dads both work. Kids have so many sporting events and extracurricular activities, and we don't get together socially like we used to. And it's nice. It's nice to be able to do it.
Okay, so let's talk about the food stations. Everything from this point forward is not going to apply to your house unless you happen to live in the same house as we do. But so you have to be flexible in where you place things. Okay, dining room. What did we do with the dining room
Well,
table?
here's the thing, because we change it up a little bit every year. I try to lay out the food so that, first of all, everybody is not jammed into one room. There's no physical way possible that you could have your appetizers, your main course items, your chips and dips, your desserts and your drinks all in one location, because it's too many people in one room. You want people to spread out. You want people to mingle.
Well, that's the big thing. Even if you could put all the food in one room,
you don't want to do it.
You want people to mingle and socialize.
You do. So I have to balance every year where's the best place to put things. Our house, we live in a split level?
Split level.
Bi-level? What is it called? Split
level.
I don't even know. Okay, so we
live in a 3-story home. It's just...
We do. So our main floor is where our kitchen and our dining room are. And then downstairs, which is our family room, we have some extra space.
Plus Studio Anna.
Yes. So we've always tried to make it so that people had to gravitate towards the downstairs for something. Now, I always figure people will go wherever I put the drinks. Anywhere in the house, they're going to go and get a drink.
Now, prior to Hurricane Sandy, we put the drinks out in the Florida room.
Yeah, we used to have that whole extra room. But it forces people to go somewhere else, so they're not all standing around the buffet station in the dining room.
When we did the backyard for the kids with the fire pit outside.
We have done that.
We've also done it for the smokers.
Yes, we have.
People are going to come to your party and they're going to smoke. Either it's okay for them to smoke in your house, or they're going to go outside. If they go outside, make sure they're comfortable.
And most people anymore do. They go smoke outside. But again, we're back, getting off track. So, we do try to make it so that people have to move around the house. You can't just park yourself in one spot and stay there and, just watch. So This year we did the drinks downstairs and we did desserts downstairs. In the kitchen, we did all of the snack type foods. We had the chips and dips and things like that. All of that was in the kitchen.
Coffee was in the kitchen.
Coffee was in the
Trash
kitchen.
cans and recycling cans were in the kitchen.
Yes. I think I would not do that again. I would not put drinks and desserts downstairs. I would put drinks and snacks downstairs because I think fewer people came into the kitchen to get snacks. And again, that's part of it. You want to encourage people to go. So not everybody is going to go get snacks. If it's not readily available that they can just reach out and grab it, they may not get up and go get it. But if it's next to the drinks and they're there, they would grab a plate full of
the other
snacks.
thing that occurred down here was a circle of a bunch of people around here and a circle of people over there, and all of the kids were sitting on the furniture in a circle in front playing. They were watching a couple of movies and they played a couple of video games together.
And that's important too. When you have a crowd like that, you have to have something to do for the kids. If the weather was cold like it was yesterday and we didn't really want the kids outside because it was very cold, we had the Lego movie going, How to Train Your Dragon 2 was going. They had the video games that they were playing. So there was a lot of activity for the kids to do. And the grown-ups
one year
generally,
we had a couple of volunteers one year take all the kids down to the playgrounds and go play football with them. Football and toss around a frisbee.
Yeah, some of the kids did that with
So keep stuff
some
like
of the
that in
party
mind.
goers.
You have to keep the kids entertained.
Yeah.
Because if the kids aren't entertained, they're going to be bugging their parents to go, and that's really going to cut your party short. So average person at the party yesterday was here for...
Well, we had guests that arrived as early as 2 o'clock, and our last guests left shortly after 8 o'clock.
So we had most people here 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. If those kids had been bugging them to get it, including our own kids, there would have been... It would have wound down a lot quicker. So if you want to make sure people have a good time, keep their kids entertained.
The kids are entertained, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so food and drink. The kids. Kids aren't drinking wine, beer, alcohol. What's the best thing to get for the kids?
We always get the cans of soda. And I've gone back and forth on this. Is it wasteful that they pour the soda out of a 2-liter bottle and leave a half a cup? Or is it wasteful that they open a can and leave half of the can? I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. So we tend to go towards the cans because you can get a variety of flavors.
Well, that's why I like getting the cans, because we go to the store and it's not buying Coke or Pepsi. It's buying, because there's still some of it underneath us. It's root beer, ginger ale, grape, orange, black cherry. You know, it's all the different flavors as opposed to a brand name of Coke or Pepsi.
Yeah, so we always have a variety. And the cans are better because
it's a serving
we
size.
don't drink a lot of soda in our house.
Yeah.
So the 2-liter bottles, if they were already open, it really would just go to waste. The cans, at least, we can hang on to them until somebody else comes, a weekend or two, or if the kids have company over that drink soda, we have the cans in the house. So the cans always seem to work out better for us.
Yep. All right, now, beer and wine. How much of it do you get for the number of people you're having coming?
I have no idea.
Oh, hold on. Good point. We had 40 people. Mm-hmm. How many people do you plan on? Do you plan for 40? Do you plan for 30 and expect people not to show up?
No, okay, well, you know this about me. I always over plan.
I thought we just met.
Yeah, I over plan. If I have 30 confirmed people on my list, I plan for 35 to 40 people. I would rather us eat leftovers for 3 days after a party than to run out of something during a party.
One year we had a whole tray of turkey and a whole thing left over. We drove it all down to the soup kitchen.
Yeah, we have done that also. But, you never know, especially because, and this year is the first year that I did it. I only sent Facebook event invitations. I didn't send out paper invitations. So for people that are on Facebook, they have the option to click maybe. They might be at your party. I can't budget for all those people to actually show up, because if you're listed as a maybe, there's a really good chance you're not going to be able to come. But there's a chance that some of those people will be here.
Well, the other advantage on Facebook, though, is you have a chance to look at what they've been doing lately and see that, every Saturday they're at the championship sports game. Or their kid just got accepted into a championship game and they're going to be 150 miles away.
Which is really why people list themselves as maybe. Either the kids are involved in something and, maybe there's a championship going on, or they have a game scheduled and they're not really sure, is the kid going to feel like going to the party afterwards? Like we had guests yesterday who brought their kids straight from hockey. And, perfectly fine. the kids were good sitting here. They were comfortable. Some kids, you don't know. After hockey, they might have been spent. They, just go home and be done.
One year we had a friend of yours that called because they were coming from a sporting event with their kids, and they called to apologize thinking that everything was over. We told them to come over. They stayed here until almost 11 at night. We had a wonderful evening. They weren't rushed out at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want. You want people who are comfortable in your house and having a good time and not feel rushed.
But especially because of the way we did it on Facebook this year, I had a week ago, I had 28 confirmed yeses. For me to plan for only 30 people, it would have totally disregarded the fact that I still had 10 people that were maybes. And 6 of those people, showed up. So if I had only planned for 30, we would have run out of food. So again, I always over plan by at least 5. At least 5.
And you don't have to open up every pack of crackers and nuts and everything else.
You don't. And, like yesterday, I did 2 separate trays of deviled eggs. So I had one in the refrigerator for people that came later. Or if, the maybes didn't come, we would have had them left over for today, and they wouldn't have been left out on the buffet all afternoon. So, I had that, although we got rid of all our deviled eggs. I made 2 trays of some things. We ended up with like half trays of some things left. So we didn't have a whole lot of leftover food.
And thanks to Martha Stewart's advice, we didn't have the shrimp tray.
We didn't have a shrimp tray.
Now, the other thing that we didn't do is there was no closing time on this. And even though I was manning the trash station, at no point in time were you walking around the house with a trash bag making people feel like we were wrapping things up.
No. And I never do that. And, it used to bother me to see people, there's trash there. They're not moving it. Let me go pick it up. I'm going to be up till midnight doing this. But you know what? If they're sitting there talking and having a good time, I don't want to go over with a trash bag and interrupt them anyway. I'd rather sit down and have,
join the conversation.
Join the conversation, yeah. So, we always budget for at least 5 people more than we know are definitely coming. That way, if some people cancel, but some of your maybes end up showing up, you still have plenty of food.
Now, we have a new family member, a new addition to the family this year, that, of course, I'm talking about Ember. And we have a neighbor who's deathly afraid of cats.
We had Ember last Christmas.
Yeah, but we didn't,
She was a kitten.
That was different. She was a kitten. This year it's a cat.
This year
she's different. But the animals, were they wandering around the house? No, they were all outside or in their crate or in a room.
Yeah. And Harper was the only one that really wandered, and we put her out quite a few times.
And that's because the kids kept letting them in.
The kids kept letting her in. But we put her back outside quite a few times because she is a little nervous around some new people. Ember is not sociable at all, so we did put her so that she was in a comfortable spot, and she was fine for the day.
But she had her litter box, her food, and her water, so it's not like she was in a room isolated from everything else.
No, she was perfectly fine for the day, and everybody was free of the hissing and snarling that she does when she's around people.
She never does that.
She does do that.
Okay, so that takes care of drinks and food. Okay, main food. Appetizers. We had what now? Soup, salad?
No, because it's too hard to do that with this kind of a crowd where people are in and out all day. But we had cheese and crackers. We had chips and dip, onion dip and spinach dip. We had...
leftover Halloween candy?
We had Halloween candy laying around.
The little bite-sized pieces made for a tray of snacks somewhere.
Yes, they did. What else did we have in the way of snacks?
Don't you have a detailed list?
No, I don't.
See, we've done this enough that you're not...
whatever we have, we have.
Okay, so let's go back to the food then.
We also had fruit.
Fruit, oh yeah, we had all our fruit out. We had a crudité thing.
And a vegetable tray, crudité. So...
Is it better to make your own crudité or better to buy it?
Okay. So here's the thing with that. You can get it at Costco for like $10, a small crudité. Every year that I've bought a store-made crudité, I end up throwing away the broccoli, the cauliflower, or I end up eating the broccoli and cauliflower for 3 days afterwards by myself. This year I opted to make my own, and I put on it the things that I knew people have eaten.
What, carrots, celery?
Carrots, celery, cucumbers, which like flew off of that tray so fast. And I also did tricolored tomatoes, the baby tomatoes, just because I thought they really looked pretty. No one ate the tomatoes.
They look pretty all night though.
They looked very pretty. And I know that no one was going to eat the tomatoes because they don't eat them on the store-made crudités either, but they did. They looked really pretty. So, if nothing else, they were a nice adornment to the platter.
Yes.
We had pickles and olives.
That's a tough one for me because every year we do the pickles and olives tray and I wonder how many of them actually get used.
I think yesterday we ended up going through more pickles and olives than we ever have. But I say that, I scaled down to the smaller tray. We've always gone
By
to
tray,
Wegmans.
you mean the olives bar.
If we always go to the olive bar at Wegmans, and I used to do the bigger tray because you can make your own tray at Wegmans. This time I went with the smaller one. It was only 3 different kinds of olives and the pepper shooters, which you like. I still ended up throwing away almost all of the gorgonzola stuffed olives, which I thought people would love. Almost all the black olives were gone.
Now that's why this is important to do if you're going to start undertaking this level of a party. Pardon me. Because no matter how much you scale this up, you're still going to spend quite a bit of money relative to your budget. And you don't want to repeat the same mistakes each year of things that are left over. So no matter what you plan for, toss that in the drawer, before your party starts and save it. And after the party, go around and find out what people did and didn't love. And just don't repeat it the following year.
Yeah, and we've tried to do that. I've tried to blog every year kind of a party wrap up where I've listed everything that we've served, stuff that I ended up tragically thrown away a lot of. But pickles and olives, they're one of those things that are hit or miss every year. My mother always had them. Every party she ever had, she had pickles and olives. So every party I ever have, I put out pickles and olives. Some years, like yesterday, I think most of it goes.
Cheese and crackers were on the appetizer bar also.
Yeah, cheese and crackers
Yeah,
and
cheese
pepperoni.
And pepperoni. The pepperoni was all gone. The cheese, you had 3 or 4 different kinds of cheese, and most of it was gone, but not all of it.
Yeah. So, and again, that's one of those hit or miss things. Some years people just love the cheese and pepperoni and it goes quickly. Other years, not so much.
Well, here's the other problem, though, with putting out the cheese. If you put out all of it, it's sitting out exposed to the air, and some of it starts to get affected by the air on it.
Yeah, so I don't put as much. I used to cut the whole pound blocks of cheese or whatever. I don't do that anymore. I put most of it in the refrigerator. I just put it out a little bit at a time.
But that requires knowing that you're going to do that, and don't forget.
It does. And I did, the first couple years I did it, I would cut the entire block of cheese and put it out and throw away the entire tray of cheese.
So let's go to the dining room and the main entree of food.
Okay, we had
sliced turkey.
Sliced turkey and gravy.
Now, why did we not use as much of it as we thought?
I'm not sure. We ordered enough turkey for 40 people. We ordered it
now,
from...
How much is that?
Poundage wise?
Well, it was 12 pounds, so it was
12 pounds.
For 40 people.
For 40 people.
But if you were to cook your own turkey, now this requires cooking 50 pounds of turkey to get 12 pounds of turkey cooked.
It does, and that's the problem with making the turkey myself. We would have had to cook 3 turkeys over the course of 24 hours and then reheat it all, slice it all down and reheat it, risking drying it out to serve it on the buffet yesterday.
Now, if you have volunteers who say they will cook the turkey and bring it to you, you better have a very high degree of confidence in them that they're going to cook it and bring the turkey and carve it. Because,
it's such an inconvenience to ask somebody to roast a turkey for you. Like you said, we could run down the street and ask the neighbors if No, you cannot heat up their house and take over their kitchen for 6 hours. So it was easier for us. We ordered the turkey.
Can I borrow a cup of sugar and your oven for the next 6 hours?
Yes.
By the way, I'll be back in 2 hours to baste it. If I forget, do that for me.
Do that for me. No, we ordered yesterday from Boston Market, and we've ordered from there in an emergency in the past when someone forgot to
as in a previous video was
defrost
mentioned.
The turkey.
Yeah.
But the turkey's delicious. It arrives moist. They give you the gravy with it. It's perfectly sliced. You don't have to worry about bones. You don't have to worry about, a kid giving a piece of turkey to the dog with bones in it.
Okay, now
That's
we figured this
fine.
out. The price of going to the supermarket and buying the turkeys versus us getting the turkey already sliced and cut at Boston Market. What we winded up paying Boston Market was
about double.
About $50. Yeah, so really we paid for a carving chef for 2 hours of work.
Well, we paid for not inconveniencing our neighbors all day yesterday.
Yes.
Is what we paid for.
But it didn't take it from $75 to $750. It was, there was a cost, but
yeah, there was definitely.
But see, the thing is that also gave you time though to do everything else.
Yeah, we did. We spent the entire day yesterday getting all the casseroles and everything ready. I even mentioned to one of the kids that yesterday was probably one of the least stressed out I had been on the day of a party.
Now, because of Boston Market, it allowed you to do something that you normally don't do or have to have a crunch room. You had time to actually get a shower, do your sit there and...
I did. And I'm usually running till the very last minute. And by the time I realize I have to get in the shower, guests are ringing the doorbell.
Yeah, and we're wind up. It's usually family. And you're telling them, your mom or your sister, cover things while you run upstairs.
Yeah. So, yesterday I had time to shower. All the casseroles were good and ready to go.
It makes me feel uncomfortable while I'm downstairs cleaning my desk that you're so stressed.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, everything went smoothly. We had
What did you forget?
And sausage. I always forget something. This year was the cranberry sauce. And I had the platter. I bought a platter specifically, had it out. It was all ready for the cranberry sauce. I could not remember why I had this platter. And I said to Bridget, what was I supposed to put on this platter? And she was like, I think you were supposed to put pepperoni, but you used this other dish, which you didn't have out when we were talking about putting the pepperoni. And I was like, all right, well, maybe I did mean to put the pepperoni on it. Couldn't remember. The platter sat empty till the very end of the night. We were wrapping stuff up, packing it up to put in the refrigerator and the freezer. And I saw across the room the empty platter and realized no cranberry sauce. Fakesgiving dinner with no cranberry sauce.
So for all those who are watching who are at dinner, let us know. We'll be glad to give you a can of cranberries.
We have none.
Yes. They grow them in the bogs down the street. It's not hard to get.
Yes.
But yeah, we forgot cranberries. But no one was screaming or upset. No one ran out the door because of it.
Nope.
Okay, so post-mortem on food. If somebody calls, because we had somebody call at the last minute on their way, and we've had people call days and before, what can we bring? So ring, ring. What can I bring?
Okay. I always tell people they don't have to bring anything.
Except themselves.
Except themselves. People generally bring a dessert or they bring a wine. So I personally try not to go overboard when I purchase any of that stuff, because I know, first of all, we live down the street from a liquor store. So if I run out of anything, it's 5 minutes for you to go to the store for me.
I walk.
But we always have dessert and plenty of wine left over. And those are typically the best hostess gifts, I think. More likely than not, if somebody is bringing a bottle of wine to the party, it's a wine that they enjoy. So if I haven't already purchased it, I certainly open their bottle of wine and I will serve that, because I know that it's a bottle that they enjoy.
Now, we're not beer drinkers and we're not wine drinkers, but there is a wine that you like.
I like Moscato. I don't mind drinking that, and I can't drink it by itself. Like I have to be eating something or doing something. But I like the sweeter wines.
And somebody brought one yesterday that you liked.
My sister was awesome with her wine choices, because most of them were wines that we will certainly drink between now and the Christmas season, especially now that we're going to Disney World. We'll take a bottle with us.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
But she actually offered her sister to take some of the empty, not empty, take the empties.
Take the empties back to Virginia.
Yeah, take the unopened wine back. And she didn't want them because they were too sweet for how she drinks. So she, as a hostess gift, picked up stuff that the hostess could actually use, which is a really good suggestion if you're looking for gifts to take to a party.
Yeah, but you know what? I think even if you have a host or a hostess that says, assigns you something to bring, you bring the macaroni and cheese and you bring the potato salad, whatever somebody assigns you, it's always nice to bring a beverage that you like, so that that will be there and available.
If you have 12 friends and you're going to organize a party like that to lower the cost, then divvy up who's going to do an entree, who's going to do a thing.
And desserts, it's always nice when people bring desserts, because again, they're not going to pick up something they don't eat. So that there will be at least something on the buffet that those guests will enjoy. I find at a party, instead of saying, oh, I'm going to go for the pumpkin pie, if there's 3 or 4 different pies on the table, they'll take a sliver of each because they like the variety. They like to taste it. It's just something that you don't get to do all year. But it's the holidays. You're going to splurge a little bit. So I like to know that the dessert table is filled with desserts and everybody can find something. The kids were eating the cookies. We did the little brownie bites this year, so there was a little bit of something chocolate. There was just a lot of a variety.
Now, we went out and homemade those cookies. What, like 3 months ago? And no, it's
from the Costco.
From the Costco, yes. Our recipe: step 1, go to Costco. Step 2, buy cookies. But we bought Christmas cookies, but we bought them in October because that's when they came out.
That's when they came out, and We've talked about cookies before because you like the cookies over at Termini's.
Well, I like the cookies at Termini's because those are those Italian cookies. We got them in Rome with the tea
They're Italian
and the whole
cookies.
coffee thing. And
The thing, though, and I'm not saying they're not delicious because they're delicious, but when you put those cookies out on a dessert tray, they're all brown. They're the pignoli cookies, the almond amaretti cookies, the biscotti, the macaroons. They're all brown.
these are all Italian words for delicious.
They're all delicious, but they're all brown. They don't look as nice on the buffet. This cookie arrangement that we get at Costco, they have, the little pink and
Red
green
cookies
leaves, the
and
red and green
green.
leaves with chocolate, the little white pretzels dipped in chocolate, ones that have raspberry jam, little sandwich cookies that have red. It's just pretty on the table. It's colorful. It's attractive to the kids.
I was going to say,
Kids
back to
like
those
it.
kids. Those are the things that
Those
the kids
are the
will-
things that the kids like.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered pretty much all the food.
All the food.
Yeah. Are we going to talk seating now? Let's do that as a separate one. Because holiday party seating, that's a tough one.
It is.
Yeah. All right, so let's wrap this up.
Okay. Oh. I'm Anna.
See you real soon.
I'm Anna from BeautyGirlsMom.com. If you'd like to stay in touch with us and watch these videos, just click subscribe right underneath.
See you real soon. See you real soon. See you again.
See you real soon.
See you real soon.
That's Mickey Mouse.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.